Episode 8 of The Last of Us HBO was an incredibly fast-paced episode with some dark themes that would shape our characters to an extreme level that we haven't seen before. Joel finally lets go of the past and what happened to Sarah by calling Ellie a name he used to call his daughter.
It's okay, baby girl.
Ellie tries to trade a deer she shot for some medicine and ends up getting into some trouble from a cult-like settlement.
Ow! Ow!
Like I said, this episode was incredibly paced. I was honestly thinking they weren't going to be able to fit all of this into one episode and that some of it will bleed into the next one. But they were able to wrap it up pretty cleanly. Let me know what you guys think of the episode down below. I really did enjoy it and I can't wait till the next one where we finally see the hospital scene. Hit that like button if you liked the video and of course hit that sub button if you're new. Alright, let's get into the video. The episode starts off where we see the inner workings of this cult-like settlement.
Last 6 months have been hard for all of us. But I need to know you're with me.
This is David. This is the leader of the settlement. Just from that short clip alone, you could tell that he's very manipulative. He does this thing where he talks in a very nice and sweet monotone voice, but it's very clear he has evil intentions. You'll see later on what I mean by this. The man he's talking to is James, which is actually Joel's voice actor in the game, Troy Baker. James tells David about a nearby deer that they saw. David tells them to get the guns and that they're going to go hunting. Then cut back to Ellie trying to heal Joel.
You thirsty?
Ellie heads outside to find some food and more supplies to heal Joel up. She finds a deer and ends up shooting it. Unfortunately, she doesn't kill it, so she has to follow the trail. She ends up heading into the two that we just saw, James and David.
We can trade you.
Medicine? Your boy can go get it. He comes back, you get half the deer. Anyone else shows up, I put one right
between my eyes.
That's right.
David proposes to Ellie that they start a fire because it's gonna take a while for James to get back. Ellie budges and tells David to drag the deer with them inside a building. David tries to use some of his manipulation skills on Ellie, but clearly it doesn't work. Ellie is constantly antagonistic with him, and it's because she knows that she can't trust him.
I'm a decent man, just trying to take care of the people who rely on me. Wasn't my choice. It was theirs, but
He's clearly trying to make everything sound rational and normal, but we know it's not. We know it's basically a cult at this point. He tries to say he's a preacher and that's why they picked him, but even in his normal life, he was a teacher, so he had no experience with the stuff. He just likes the power. It's very clear that he had to manipulate his way to get to the top. He even reveals that he didn't even believe in God before the apocalypse started, so he used this whole thing as another way to finally get power. And I don't know, it's kind of suspicious that he's a teacher and then a preacher, and we already know what preachers be doing to them little boys.
I don't stand too close, you gon' fuck around and drown. Off this way, doing all these shows, I've been on the road.
Alright, anyways, David actually reveals something pretty terrifying. Apparently the people that impaled Joel earlier are actually part of his crew.
we sent 4 of our people to a nearby town to scavenge what they could. Only 3 of them came back. The one that didn't was a father. He had a daughter just like you. He was murdered by this crazy man. That crazy man was traveling with a little girl. Everything happens for a reason.
We then come to find out that James is already pointing his gun at Ellie. He's told to put it down by David. He gives Ellie the medicine and Ellie runs away. She rushes back immediately to go heal Joel. Ellie decides to sleep on Joel so she can pass the time and wait for him to heal up.
Yes, we found a girl who was with the man who took Alec from us. Need a group out to pick up her trail. Won't be hard to find in the snow. We'll bring that man to justice.
You should kill him.
The young girl who interrupted him was actually the daughter of the man that Joel killed. I'm pretty sure anyone in this situation would want to get their get back. But for some reason, James decides to abuse his power and does this.
I know you think you don't have a father anymore. You will always have a father. You will show him respect when he's speaking.
Like I said, them preachers are a little suspicious. They all start having dinner, and we can see that he has a lot more food than everyone else. I forgot to mention it earlier in the episode, but David was telling Ellie that his people were starving. But it seems like his people are truly the only ones starving while he's just living his life. This shows once again that he's only in this for power. We then head back to Ellie. She goes outside to take a breather, and she ends up hearing the cult coming towards them. She's then knocked out and then taken by David and his crew. Once Ellie is captured, they start looking for Joel. One of the members start looking into the house where Joel was in and ends up getting caught from behind. But first, we cut back to Ellie. She is inside this cage made by David. We can clearly see that David is trying to manipulate Ellie and convert her to one of them. He offers to bring her a new beginning and she rejects. We're now back at Joel. He's able to sneak up behind another person and knock him out as well.
Gotta say, I thought you'd last longer.
We then see the famous interrogation scene.
I don't know any girl. Oh, Jesus! What town? We're late.
You're gonna point to where we are and where your resort is. And it better be the exact same spot your buddy points to.
No. No! Why the fuck did you do that? He told you what you wanted. He ain't telling you shit.
It's okay.
No.
I believe him.
No.
We are now back with Ellie. Ellie notices something in the corner of the room while she's trying to escape. David comes in and gives her food, and we're finally revealed what she saw in the corner of the room. A human ear.
For what it's worth, this is just deer meat, I swear. If you want to judge me...
Judge you? You're eating people, you sick fuck!
He also reveals that only a few people in the settlement know that they're eating human meat. So they're being forced to eat human meat without knowing anything. And even then, they're still not even getting fed with the human meat, so what's the point? David again tries to manipulate Ellie by making her one of them. Ellie even goes along with this and is able to hurt him.
Ow! 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 How did you put it? Tiny little pieces?
We then go back to Joel and see that Joel discovered where they are keeping the dead human body. We then go straight back to Ellie while David and James are trying to put her on the table to cut her up. Ellie makes a fib and says that she's infected and even shows her arm. This makes David think that he's about to turn.
That looks pretty fucking real to me.
James is killed by Ellie. Ellie picks up a stick from the fireplace and hides behind one of the booths in the restaurant. Ellie tries to throw the stick at David, but ends up missing and starts a fire in the restaurant. When David has his back faced at her, tries to attack him with a knife that she found, but David is able to react quickly enough.
The fighting is the part I like the most. Don't be afraid. There's no fear in love.
Like I said, never trust those preachers. Ellie is able to kill him and goes outside. You can tell that she's broken by this whole event because when Joel comes from behind her to comfort her, she starts fighting, thinking that she's gonna get caught again.
It's okay, baby girl.
Joel then comforts Ellie and the episode ends. Like I said, an amazing episode. Very, very fast paced. Nothing but non-stop action. Let me know what you guys think about this episode down below. And of course, sub if you're new. See y'all next time. SA out.